Speak it out, but daily desk. Mahonero wako panyayai. Why don't you speak it out? Speak it out, speak it out. Jauda, yeah, speak it out. Why don't you speak it out? Why don't you speak it out? Speak it out, yeah. Now all is green.
Hello guys, welcome back to Speak It Out on Daily Desk. This is your girl Ali Green. This episode was sponsored by Chido. For your wedding dresses, outfits, any outfit for any occasion, matric, Lobola Day, for those who want to get married, Chido is your girl. Today we are back with another exciting episode. Guys, guess who's in the building? You know me, I don't roll alone. Yeah, I can't sit here alone. We have got the international MC in the building. She is young, but she's huge. MC Shanaz, welcome.
Thank you so much for having me.
You're welcome. So happy to have you in the studio.
Yeah, it's been long overdue. We've been chatting about this for a good minute and
for a long time.
And I'm so happy to be here.
Yeah, and you're finally here.
Finally, it's about time.
So how are you?
I'm doing great. I'm doing absolutely great. And how are you doing?
I'm trying. Being here, I think it makes me more happy.
Yeah, I have obviously had an insight on most of your shows, and I must say you're doing an incredible job.
Thank you, but I'm walking in your footsteps. It's like I'm the baby on this game,
no.
So I'm trying to take one step at a time.
No, I'm definitely inspired by the works that you're doing, because I was like, oh, okay, Alice is doing something like this. Maybe it's something I should also follow in the footsteps. So I think being in the entertainment space, it's so broad, and you can learn something from someone else. So
you know, it's a big cake. Everyone can cut a slice.
Absolutely, absolutely.
So I'm just like following the international ones. I think I need to stay in the international line.
Absolutely. I think the goal is to take it from Africa to the world. You know,
yeah,
we're not playing small.
We mustn't forget our motherland.
Absolutely.
Africa is our home.
Absolutely. I think it's very important to know where you're from and also where you're headed, but always remember your roots to come back home.
I'm proudly African.
Yes.
Sometimes though.
And why the sometimes aspect of it?
I think we need to talk about that after the show, because
we can spend
the wartime
elaborating on it.
Yeah,
no, definitely.
So who is MC Shanaz?
MC Shanaz is an MC, right?
Yeah.
She is a brand that is looking to go international.
She's already international.
All right, she's already international, yes. And I go by the statement, or rather the line, MC Shanaz is the epitome of Dynamite's coming in absolutely small but yet gorgeous packaging. And that stems from the fact that I'm very short. Most people, when they see me in person, they're like, you're actually this short, but then...
It's like me when I saw you for the first time. I was like, wow, camera lights.
I know, I'm very short, but when I do stand on stage...
It's a big lady there.
Yes, absolutely. I feel like that's where I express myself a little bit more, and hence I call myself the epitome of Dynamite's coming in small packages.
You know, like the introduction, guys, on its own, you must just know what to expect.
Absolutely, absolutely.
And you know, the first time when I saw you, I thought you were American somehow. With the accent on its own, like hearing you speaking on the stage and stuff, and like the intro, I was like, wow, where's this girl from? Where's this girl from? And I had to dig, I had to do my research. Yeah, to make sure that, like, where are you from?
Yeah, so originally I'm from Zim, and when it comes to my accent, I don't necessarily think I have an accent. I just find myself articulating my words to the T, so I say a word as it is. And then that way it just come across as an accent, I suppose.
No, but like, I don't want to lie. I see your work. I'm inspired.
Really?
I'm motivated, and I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
She's doing a good job.
Well, I mean, we're trying out here. I mean, I'm trying to build a brand that can sustain me.
I think it's already a brand.
Yes, it is, and
But
it's
obviously,
still growing.
maybe with your vision, you won't see it's a brand.
Absolutely, and that's where when you're speaking of visions, it's only you as an individual who sees your fullest potential.
Like, I'm not yet there.
I'm not there, but then everyone else around you is like, wow, you're actually doing this, and I'm trying to be where you are. You're like, no, I'm hardly doing anything. I'm still crawling to where the vision is.
It's just like me when I'm telling people about Speak It Out. I'm like, I'm still a baby.
Yeah,
because
but then,
I'm seeing a baby in me. I'm seeing a baby. I think this is our 18th.
Really?
Episode.
Well, it's growing. It's growing, I must say.
So it's still a baby. It's kind of 4 months, 3 months. So it's...
Yeah, I think your platform is it seems to you as though it's small, but I think having 18 episodes, that's massive. That is something.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
We are trying.
Yes.
Like what you're saying, you're trying, but we are seeing you on big platforms and you're saying it's trying.
We are trying. Yeah.
So how did you find out about being an MC and you discover that you have got the MC in you? Because you say the voice was born, you were born with it.
Yeah. For me, I like to think that it's a gift from the higher power, right? It started as me wanting to be a journalist. So growing up,
really?
In primary, I've never been that kid who wants to be a doctor or
a pilot.
No, absolutely not.
A hostess.
Absolutely not. I've always wanted to be a journalist, and as time went, growing up, I've then realized that journalists actually get killed for their job, and I'm like, I'm not trying to risk my life.
No, that's the sad part of it, if you think of it.
Yeah, absolutely. And then I thought to myself, what other thing can I do within that field? And with my family, we are very close. We're very very tight, And more often than not, would have like Friday nights, and then I and my younger siblings would be like, okay, let's do a show for our parents, and I will MC from there. And then fast forward to high school. At the age of 14, we had oral presentations and whatnot. And then I was so fortunate enough that at my school we hosted an annual Valentine's Day program, like a show, and then you get to audition and do whatever it is that you're talented about. And my English teacher was like, you know what, you should go for it. You should audition to be an MC. And then I auditioned to be an MC, and then I was MC from that year right through till I finished high school. Wow. And obviously I had to audition every year thereafter because there might be new talent, and I just happened to find myself doing that every year after that, and eventually directing the entire event, which was a blessing.
But like, with your family, when they discover that this Shanaz is busy with us now and Shanaz is getting serious about being an MC, how did they take it?
I'm so grateful that my family is so supportive. Like, I think most people don't actually notice, or rather acknowledge, the importance of family being supportive. The entire world can be against me, but as long as, if my mother says, listen, you got this, go for it. I remember when I was 14, my English teacher was like to me, well, there is an opening for radio hosts at UCT, and I'm 14. And I'm thinking to myself, what is this guy talking about, And he's like, would you like to audition? I'm like, I've never done radio. I've never in my wildest thought think that I want to go into radio. And then I was like, well, you know what? Let's do it. I went home, told my mom that my teacher got us an audition to be a radio host, at least one show every Saturday, or something along those lines. And she was like, well, okay, cool, you can go ahead and do so. Wow. So I auditioned, there was a number of high school kids there, So I auditioned with my team, and we got a show, and it was just an incredible experience. And that stems from my family being very supportive. Yeah. My mom was like, as long as it's something that you want, we are 100% behind you,
Because, like, where we come from, like talking about Zim, Zim moms or Zim parents, they've got this thing like you must concentrate on your studies. Yeah. So if you want to introduce a sport or something different from school, like
it's challenging.
It's very challenging.
Absolutely, yeah.
They think of it like you don't want to go to school again, you want to drop out. They say a lot of things. Yeah. But seeing your mom being part of it, and you're still 14, and she's like, go for it. Yeah. It gives you the confidence.
Absolutely.
I think that is the thing which makes you keep going every day.
Yeah. For me, my mom has always said to me, listen, as much as you want to go into the field, as much as education is as much as we speak about education, my mom has always said to me, do focus on school. But if it is emceeing that your heart is at, make sure that you do things with that, you know.
Wow.
So she's never completely dismissed my passion or anything of that sort. She's been very supportive, and she's been like, if it's an event, I'm going to be there.
Wow.
Whether I need to go buy a dress, I'm going to be there. And that on its own, it's like, if my mom says she's going to be there, like, what else do I need?
What is stopping you?
Exactly. So, yeah.
Because like I saw when it was on this other event, when you were there, you were the MC there, and your mom was there, and she was just clapping all the way. I was like, wow.
Yeah.
This is priceless. You can't buy that.
You can't buy that. Absolutely, you can't buy that.
It's expensive. You can't even afford it.
You can't. And I think it's just God allowing her to be there in the presence where I'm doing something that I really love, and yeah, I'm forever grateful for that.
But how was your first like a program that you were an MC at? How was the first experience being in front of the crowd, like adults? Now we're no longer at school.
Yeah.
High school kids, you know.
Yeah.
We're also
all kids.
All kids. We're wearing the same uniform.
Absolutely.
It's the same vibe, but now it's adults. People who are older than you. People who doesn't know you. And
yeah. For me, I think, so my very, very first event was right after high school. It was the Stop It But I Like It show. So it's just a number or a collective of creatives who are coming together to showcase their talent. Obviously, that was my first show outside of school and teenagers who I was now used to, you know. And I'm like, okay, there's going to be people of different nationalities.
Yeah.
How am I going to do it? I remember shaking a little bit before the stage. I still do shake before going on the stage.
Really?
Yeah.
What calms you down?
As I see my audience, then I'm like, okay, this is what I'm dealing with, and I have to, you know, do it a certain way just to accommodate them and, you know, assess how they are taking what I'm giving to them. It's more about reading the crowd and seeing, you know, what it is I can give to them. So back to your question, yeah, I just had to understand that I'm dealing with different nationalities, and I just had to put my best foot forward and just take the show as it went.
It is, wow.
And it was a success, I suppose.
That's a wow again. Because,
yeah.
like, you know, your first show when you want to do something, or the first trial, it's always the hard one.
It is, absolutely. And hence, most people say just start. And we were talking about Wusi.
Yeah.
Yeah, just start today and it will just build from there.
I think everyone has got an idea, but the starting part is the most
scary.
difficult thing.
It is. It's just a lot of thoughts like, okay, if I start this, then what are people going to say? If I start this, if I invest in this, what are people going to say? Because as a brand on its own, I have to dress a certain way, and that is costly. And then I'm thinking to myself, do I really want to invest and then not go anywhere? So it is.
Because I see you, I follow you, and I see some of your dressing. It's similar. It's like it's the same thing, but in a different way.
Yeah.
How do you do that?
I think for me,
was it part of your dress code, or you changed it to that?
So, good question. So initially, when I stepped into the MC scene or the entertainment scene, because I do like to believe I would like to believe that I have more than just being an MC. Yeah, I can explore my abilities, right? But as I entered into the entertainment space, I saw myself presenting myself as an African, right? So I was like, every time when I do an event or when I do whatever it is that requires my presence, I'm going to be dressed in an Ankara outfit, right? As time went, I figured the kind of MCs that they are, and I had to bracket myself into a certain group, and I decided, okay, I'm going to be a corporate MC. I don't want to do anything that is like club related and all that, unless of course it is of high profile. When it is a club event, then only would I opt for it. But I'm more of a corporate event MC, like, you know, dressing business kind of events. So dressing according to those. So business, awards, ceremonies, that's my, that's my bracket, and that's where I find myself. And that's where I said, okay, for me, in order for me to be that MC, I need to dress a certain way. Not necessarily saying I have to be office wear 24/7,
Yeah.
but just a heel makes a difference. Wearing a pair of heels, it makes a difference. And I've just been that ever since.
But like the dressing on its own, it shows the that how professional you are.
Yeah.
Because seeing you just like, oh yeah, she's expensive,
Oh,
she's
yes.
international.
And that's the goal. I'm trying to attract that clientele, because obviously if I want to attract an Oprah to sit next to Oprah, I need to be
Yes.
dressed accordingly, and she should be like, hey, this person's actually, you know, worth my time, and that's just the goal. Yeah.
And what is like the toughest event have you been? Like the one which was tough. But yeah, this one was very tough. And Shika Panjimbo, and it was the worst. The worst event, kind of.
Okay, I can't quite say that.
Yeah,
I can't pinpoint on that one. But it did happen sometime last year. Yeah, it was a taboo, and I had to excuse myself from that kind of clientele, because as building a brand, I want to be able to show other clients that I've worked with this, and from that event, it's not one which I would like to say I have been a part of. Sorry. So yeah.
Wow. Because, you know, like, you get to a place and you're an MC, you can find different people with different things and different vibe, and maybe it's not part of you. And now you say you want to do things in a professional way. Then maybe I just hired you and you don't know it's a club.
Oh no.
And so what will you do? It's a ghetto club, African vibe. You are nodding your head already.
Yeah.
And you know, like the ghetto vibe.
Yeah.
On its own. And boom, you are wearing your heels and you're an MC at a ghetto club. What do you do?
So when it comes to me with MCing, right, I actually manage everything that happens to me as a brand. And I'm so grateful that I've had people in my space influence that, you know, people that I can turn to and be like, what's your view on this? What's your view on that? And for me to avoid such instances, because I've never found myself in such a situation, I usually require, or rather request for a meeting. And in that meeting, we elaborate on what it is that you expect of me. I know someone came into my inbox recently and they were like, oh, someone that I actually know, would like you to be a part of a music video. And for me, it's like, as a brand, I'm not just trying to get money, I'm trying to present myself in a certain way.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I'm sorry, I can't be in a music video because I'm a corporate MC and I stick by that. And so whenever clients approach me, the first thing I do ask them is, what kind of event is it? What are your clientele? What are you expecting of me? What is the theme? The theme on its own can tell you, you know, that this is a club event.
Yeah.
If someone says to me it's shorts and I'm like, okay, no, thank you. I can come to support you as a fellow creative. I'm for that. I'm very open to that. If you're a creative and you want me to be an MC and I can't, and you can't meet me halfway when it comes to payments or anything of that sort, I'm more than open to purchase a ticket and come and support you, because this is you also
and you
building.
just come as a guest.
Yeah, absolutely, because it takes a team to make a dream. It takes a team to make a dream work.
Yeah,
so,
it is.
So it's all about supporting each other. Yeah, but I've never caught myself in a situation where I am at an event that I wasn't aware of.
Wow. What is the most difficult part of being an MC?
I think, gosh, I still struggle with that. I don't even know if I can answer that question. But just discovering yourself on its own, yeah, no, I actually can. Firstly, discovering yourself as a brand on its own is something, because I don't necessarily think most people take MC seriously. People just assume that because everyone has a mouth, you can just stand on stage and be like, welcome to the event. I remember someone asking me, what do you offer besides being an MC? And I just said, my voice is what I offer, and my voice is for this amount, you know. So the most difficult part is having people take you seriously in this space, in the entertainment space, because they believe that you are easily replaceable. And in any field, you are easily replaceable.
Yeah.
But as an MC, it's as though you're just like
The
speaking.
value that you have.
Exactly. So yeah, just being recognized and respected in this space is quite tough. And also creating a rate card, your pricing, it's like very hard, because people are like, you're just speaking. We all have
just
a mouth.
in front of eyes
And exactly.
it's nothing
So who are you to tell us that you charge 10K? Do you know what I mean? And you're like, excuse me, I'm a 10K, and then they'll be like, so what else do you bring to the table besides your voice? And then that's when you find people saying, well, would rather look for someone else. And for me, honestly, and it's only now that I realized, again, it's all thanks to people that are in the space and they have like experienced it and all that, that have reached out to me and told me that, listen, if a brand or if a client isn't willing to pay you your fee, do not step down or do not say, okay, let's adjust it, because that is your fee.
Yeah, let's talk about it.
No, absolutely not. I mean, it's a different case when it comes to maybe a family member or, you know, but still my rates do stand. But I can't turn it down a notch just because you're a family or just because you come to the same church. No, I can't. Yeah, so.
You know, like, I always like see that when you are working with Zimbabweans, when immediately they know that you are a Zimbabwean, and you say, this service is 5,000 rand. You know what they normally do, my Zimbabwean brothers and sisters, they will say, that's
a norm.
Quick, it's at 2,000.
Oh no, sorry.
Because like the moment they see you, they say like, yeah, there's a negotiation room here.
Yeah.
Because
we speak the same
language,
yeah.
we come from the same country. So how is you working with Zimbabweans? How is your experience?
For me so far, I've been so blessed to have people who respect my craft. I've never had anyone coming to me that is in the Zimbabwean field that asks for my price and then ask for a discount. It's never happened. They've come and then I'll tell them, yeah, they respect it, absolutely. They'll be like, okay. And for me, it's like I require 50% deposit before your event just to secure your spot. That way, whether you cancel your event or not, I could have gotten someone and I decided to say to that person, no, I can't. And in that meantime, I wouldn't have gotten anything from you, you know. So and then I would have lost money, you know. So what I normally do is ask for a 50%. It's going to
be a lose both ways.
Exactly.
You lose the client, you lose
exactly, exactly. So now I require 50%. Even if your event gets cancelled, that's on you. But me, I have made something, you know. And that's something I learned from DJ Taps. He was like to me, you require 50% deposit. You need to have a contract that you give to the client and be like, you are signing this, and when will I get my 50% deposit? You know, just to secure your spot. So for me, and these are like some clients, and they've came to me and be like, okay, what are your rates, and when do you require your money? And I've been so grateful to attract such clients. Yeah, and I don't know if before them approaching me, whether they knew that I was Zim or not. But yeah.
Hey guys, we have got MC Shanaz in the building. Speak It Out is blessed today. We've got MC Shanaz, the international MC. I always say she's international. Like the moment I saw her, I saw international. And don't forget, this video was sponsored by Chido, guys. You can just see the dress. Send some likes and love for the dress. So MC Shanaz, I just want to ask about, is it true that men, they take advantage of MC when you're a lady MC? Sometimes men, they take advantage of you and they'll ask you for something extra besides you being an MC there. Because I follow a quite of number of MCs and I see someone right on their IG complaining about something like that.
Yeah.
So have you ever faced it or?
Yeah, for me, I can't say I've directly faced it. I've seen. And I can't bracket it to just being MCs, right? I think just being in the entertainment space is scary at large, you know. There are certain expectations. There are people who will come and trick you. I've had a brand reaching out to me saying, well, we want to work with you, we want you to be the face, and they are on ETV. We want you to be the face of...
And to you it's a big thing.
And I'm like, oh my gosh, I want to be on ETV, like what, it's a breakthrough, you know, excited and all that, only for me to request for a contract to obviously see what it is that is on the table. And based on our conversations that I had with that particular individual, it was not aligning with what was on the contract, you know. When you're talking to someone like us, having a conversation, and I'll be like, no, listen, I can take you far. We'll give you accommodation. Come to Johannesburg, we'll give you accommodation. Exactly. And for me, I'm just grateful that I have my older brother who's an accountant, and my older sister, she's a lawyer. So it's both to my advantage. It's an advantage for you. Exactly, and I can utilize that. So after I got the contract, I obviously had to pass it on to my brother, who then passes it on to my sister, and my sister was just like, well, it's a contract for real, but is it worth it? So I think as people in the entertainment space, females specifically, we are taken advantage of. Sometimes it might be sexually, sometimes it might be, oh, we'll pay you, we'll represent you, they get the money, they don't give you your share of it. And it's something that they wouldn't have communicated with you from the beginning. So it's very important to just be on the lookout for such.
Wow. I think it's so nice of you coming, because there are another MC like who are sitting, or people who are into entertainment industry right now watching this video will be like, oh, I'm also facing stuff like that. Because, you know, at Speak It Out, we try to make
everything
you are like a voice to other people who are the same industry, or people who are going to be in the same industry, who are going to be into entertainment or into MC or anything related to TV or anything. So if they see you lift their hearts, you lift their faith, you make them feel better, like, I'm not alone in this. Other people are facing it. Because someone is scared to come out and stay out, like, I'm facing this. Guys are embarrassing me. Guys are like sexually abusing me, and they can't say it because if I say it, what are they going to say?
Absolutely.
What is going to happen next? Am I going to lose jobs because of complaining about this? So you're coming out saying it makes them feel better, because you're one of them, and they'll be like, oh, she's one of us.
She's faced that. I think it's more important for you to know your morals and where to stand, draw the line. For me, once someone says to me, well, we'd need to have a nude picture of you in order for us to sign you, that for me it's a line. I'm not going to.
For MC.
Some people do that, hey. Some people will be like, in order for you to go into the next level, you need to send us a nude picture, or you need to allow us to invest into you, and then your first gig we take 5%, and then you get the rest, and then down the line you see that they take all the percentage, and then you get 2,000 from it. For me, when it's more of them getting more from my hard work, I draw the line. Unless it makes sense, I need to actually see that, okay, even if I do a 15%, well, they take 15%, I'm actually getting something tangible from it. Other than that, for me, it's like, no, thank you. I'd rather be at home working to build my brand on my own than rubbing shoulders with the wrong people.
Wow.
Yeah.
And what can you say to someone who is in the situation of like facing stuff like when they are being abused and taken advantage of, and some of the contracts doesn't worthy the agreement? Or sometimes they are given contracts and they change along the way, and like now things are like, oh, we're no longer doing this, we're doing that.
Yeah. What I would say is firstly to prevent such, do you have someone who has more knowledge, who's more knowledgeable about contracts. So even if it's a lawyer, there are free lawyers out there. Even if you are to reach out to a lawyer and be like, oh, well, I've got this. If you do get the time, please do check it out. That is one way to prevent it. But if you are in it now, obviously you probably didn't know to go through like the law side of it, like with an attorney. I would highly recommend you stop collaborating or working with the people. Even if in the contract they are getting you jobs, because what's going to happen is you are on the losing end of it, because they get you jobs, you go and present them, the money goes straight to them. They get you another job, you go and present, and the cycle continues to repeat. So what I would recommend is that you just say to them, you know what, until I get all the money that you owe me, or until you stop sexually harassing me, I am not going to continue working with you. You have every right to cut complete contact with them. So yeah, just take a step back and observe what's happening around. Is it worth it for the brand that you're building? Is it worth it for your sanity? Is it worth it for your upbringing? Because you know you're brought up a certain way. So how are your parents going to view you, even if you do, you know, certain things? So I think it all comes down to you as a person. But if you're in that situation or that predicament, it's best you step back. And sometimes I know it's hard to like let your voice out, completely hard. So stepping back,
it is difficult. It takes courage.
It does. So I think stepping back from such a situation, it raises a lot of questions. Then can you speak out? You know what I mean? So let's say, for instance, I was collaborating with a certain brand and I'm now being sexually harassed, and I decided to step back and say, listen, you guys can continue with your brand. I'm not going to do anything. And then people will be like, but Shanaz was working with this brand. What happened?
What happened?
Then when the questions arises, then speak out. You know what I mean? But if you do have the courage to speak out, even without people asking, then go ahead and do so. Don't hold yourself back.
Or they can just come to me, speak it out.
Yes, yes. Or you can just come to speak it out, where you let your voice, you know, be heard, where you iron out everything that is going on.
It's an amazing episode, like us talking together and understanding the other part of the side of the world which I'm not in, and like I'm getting inside that. That is where I'm heading to. It
prepares you, absolutely.
So I think it's more helpful.
Yeah, now you know what to look at and
what
the red flags, they say.
Don't worry, I'm just like, if it's a contract thing, I'll just like, let me
just
call
pass
Shanaz
it on.
first and like,
let's hear what's up. Absolutely, you're more than welcome.
So Shanaz, what are you studying at the moment?
I'm currently studying marketing at CPUT, the Cape Peninsula University of Technology. I'm studying that. I think it aligns. The reason I went into that is it aligns with what I am trying to build. So that I can also market, speak it out. I can, collaborate with other creators within the Cape and abroad, since we are going global. International. Yes.
So, like, how is your love life? Well, at least being into entertainment industry and there are guys toasting you. How do you handle that? Because do they take you serious?
So for me, going into the entertainment space and obviously starting to date, I've always told myself that I will never date anyone in the entertainment space. I will never ever date anyone who is a rapper, singer, producer, you name it. Never, never.
Wow. It's a never, never, like a double never.
Absolutely, absolutely. Unless we're talking of like people that have already made it, like, but the international ones, that's,
Okay.
So I've always drawn the line. I was like, I'm not going to mix entertain. I want to be able to date someone and not worry about who, when they're gone, then, so I've always looked at corporate people, like guys who are doing anything else besides entertainment. Obviously, you get people reaching out in the entertainment space, but how I have like managed to separate my brand and them, and also the relationship aspect of it. I've just kept it to myself and my close people. You will never see me post my partner on Instagram, maybe WhatsApp, because my close people are on WhatsApp. But when it comes to other public platforms, I never put it out there, because it's wild out there. It's wild, but I stay away from entertainment guys. I think it's safer to be with people who are maybe in corporate, even a student, just someone who is just completely, you can come to them and explain to them that, listen, this happened, and then they'll understand and speak with you and, walk you through it. Not like dating an entertainment guy and you'll be like, oh, they asked me to take a nude, and then he'll be like, well, what do you expect? I don't want that, so yeah.
So, like, are you dating at the moment? I love that smile.
I think the smile will answer that.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
And you're still blushing.
Oh, gosh. On to the next.
So, what are your last words to the people who are listening to you right now? Like those who are watching you, your fans, those who are in love with MC Shanaz, those who want to book MC Shanaz?
let's talk booking. If you are to book me, do check me on my social media platforms, or contact me via email or via WhatsApp. I'm very accessible in those aspects. And for someone who wants to tap into the entertainment industry, please go for it. Go for it. And if you're looking for someone who can mentor you or work with you, you're more than welcome to inbox me via Instagram, and I can just give my 2 cents on that, and we'll grow together as a community, you know. I think that's all there is to say.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I just want to ask this question, because everyone will be thinking of it. Is there money in the entertainment industry? Is it enough? Because we see some of them and
Yeah. So for me, I'm still I can safely say I'm entry level to the entertainment space, based on where I want to go as a brand. And for me, when I go on social media, Instagram, and I see these other creatives or MCs doing it big, I'm like, I want to be there, you know. And it's only now that I'm starting to understand how they are making their money. It's through collaborations and so forth. But the first thing you as a brand you need to do is to identify your area. Once you've identified your area, once you've identified the kind of clients you want to attract, put a price on it. And your price should never be shaken because my Nini, we're next door, wants you to do a party, and just because it's next door, I'm going to charge you.
My baby's birthday party.
No, absolutely not. So once you put a price to it, then when you reach out to brands, or brands reach out to you and you tell them your price, if I say 10K for me to speak for 2 hours at your business seminars, they'll be like, okay, this person is actually very serious. 10K, that's good money, and it's 2 hours. She must know what she is doing, because there's no one who would randomly charge 10K just to speak for 2 hours. And yeah, I think just be able to...
So are you trying to say pricing values you? The way you price your product is the value people give it to?
I won't necessarily say that, but what I would say is, if you know, Alice, that you only put Brazilian original, that is you as a brand. You are a person of quality, right? And when I'm going to price myself, I'm going to price myself based on what I bring to the table. If I know that me just saying hello, it's gonna get an audience for your brand, I'm gonna charge you good money for that, because I know how much impact or influence I've got on your brand and how I would portray your brand. So I think, yeah, just see how you can price yourself based on your experience and all that. For me, it took me some time to learn that. Usually I used to charge very bad money. Very, very bad, until I reached out to Sungano, the one you had here.
Yeah.
I was like, Sungano, listen.
Sungano was here.
It was. I watched that one. I reached out to him. I was like, listen, this is how I'm charging. He was like, no, we don't work like that. As of your next gig, this is how much you're going to charge. And I did that, and the client paid it up. And I was like, well, if they could do that, I'm going to put more. And I just went up from there, and people are like, okay, well, we'll pay for that, you know.
You know, it's hearing you talking about Sungano helping you with your pricing and stuff. It means a lot, because it's rare to see people want the some industry.
Absolutely.
Sungano is also
an MC,
a host. Yo, don't say MC. He's gonna freak out if he's watching this video.
He's a host. He's Sungano the host.
Sungano the host.
Yes.
Yeah. So Sungano, if you're watching, hello. And it's that part of, like, when people in the same industry, they think if you are there to take the clients, or you are there to snatch.
Absolutely
it's
not.
more work for them. There's no more work for them. It's more work for you.
Yeah.
But if he helps you, it means a lot.
Absolutely.
Because he just like, this is a cake.
Come
cut
on.
your own
Absolutely.
corner, I cut my own corner, and they're like, let's go.
Absolutely. I was once asked a question: do I feel threatened by people who are in the same space?
Industry,
Absolutely not. For me, I think a lot of my acquaintances, they are actually MCs. Most of the girls that I talk to, they are breaking into that. And for me, it's like, wow, go for it. Because I strongly believe I've got something that you don't have.
Yeah.
We can both be MCs, but when you get on the stage,
we're different vibes.
Exactly, absolutely. And I think we are all able to just share the field as it is, because we have so many doctors. Why wouldn't we have so many MCs? You know, it's just
and like we get sick every day.
Exactly. So that's what I'm saying. I think it's just all about you as a person, and if you have a heart to teach others, you yourself, you will grow, because you're interacting with someone who's in the same field as you, but they do it so different. Then you're like, oh wow, I've never thought I should actually do
Just
makeup like that. Exactly.
Yeah, it's true.
You know, for me, I'm not into makeup, but let's say for instance you do makeup,
Yeah,
right?
I do makeup.
And then I see how you do your lips, and I'm like, but Alice did it like this, so maybe I should try it. Actually, wow, it works. You know what I mean? But I've been doing makeup maybe 5 years ago. I've been doing it for 5 years, and I've got like a good client. But I'll learn something from you.
Also, you learn something
exactly,
that you don't know.
exactly.
Yeah.
So I think it's all about being open-minded and just seeing people, people's different abilities, and accepting it as it is.
I just wish this video is gonna reach out to a lot of people, and they will just understand about that. Like, if we're in the same business, doesn't mean we are competitors.
Absolutely, we're not competitors. We're a community who is trying to build brands and go global. And if we hold hands and build each other up, we'll be unstoppable.
So thank you so much, Shanaz, for coming to speak it out. I'm so humbled, and I'm so happy to have you. It was an exciting episode, and I enjoyed it.
I absolutely enjoyed it as well. I'm happy to be here once again.
You're no longer feeling nervous. You're no longer feeling
absolutely
shy.
not. I'm comfortable now. You know.
I can say
I can be back again when we are international.
International, yeah. I think the next stage you'll be sharing with Oprah. Oprah is gonna be on our video, and like I'll be on.
Yes, and then we'll be looking back to this, and that's the beauty of this platform that you've created. Most people, they are still entry level, and when they look back to the show, that the platform you've given them, they'll be like, you know what, I got recognized the moment I stepped on Speak It Out, and now look at me, I am hosting.
That's the thing. I'm gonna be very happy when I see other people's business flourishing through this program.
Exactly.
It's a growth for me as well. It's gonna make me feel happy as well.
Absolutely, and I think it's an incredible innovative that you've put together, letting creatives just let their voice be heard.
I think I owe my team this. I owe them a lot. Like, I can't pay them enough. I can't even afford them. Because them being there is like, people don't see them. They see me in the front page.
But they don't know in the background. It takes a team to make a dream work, like I said.
They are always there. Like, even a few weeks, like, guys, I can't do this today. Or sometimes it's difficult. It's like, no, you are shooting today.
And you got this.
Go and sit down and write questions, write topics. And I'm like, okay.
Let me do this.
So I think it takes a team.
It takes a team, absolutely. It takes a village to raise a kid.
It
takes a team to make a dream work, and
Sure. Thank you so much, guys, for watching this exciting episode with MC Shanaz. Guys, please check this out. If you didn't watch from the beginning, go and restart this video and watch it again. It was so exciting. And don't forget, today this program was sponsored by Chido. You can just see the dress, guys. For all your dresses, for anything, special occasions, weddings, Lobola days, birthday, for your child's birthday, anyone's birthday, she's your girl. She's the girl for you. You can just check her contacts and her details on Instagram, Facebook, on the screen there below. Guys, it's not over until you speak it out.
Speak it out, but daily desk. Mahonero wako panyayai. Why don't you speak it out? Speak it out, speak it out. Daughter, speak it out. Why don't you speak it out? Why don't you speak it out? Speak it out, now all is green.